So with my current body of work, I'm trying to explore things that are not only happening to me, but maybe happening to a lot of us as a collective whole. I want to explore life, death, but most importantly, our shared experience. And if you've ever seen some Oahu art, it's very bright, it's very colorful, and my work is no different. To really use the rainbow as a metaphor. So you can't really look at the color spectrum or a rainbow or what have you and say, yes, that's the true red, that's the true orange, that's the true yellow, and point it out specifically and label that the one that exists. I would use that metaphor for the mental health spectrum. So you wouldn't necessarily be able to look at the mental health spectrum and say, this is healthy, this is ill, this is functioning, this is not. And my work will always continue to focus on those topics because I think it's very important for us to understand that not all experiences can be so easily categorized. So some of my previous work, well, even though it might just have flowers on it or monstera or have something that seems like it might not focus necessarily on mental health, you can still see a hint of that color spectrum shining through. And there's a little bit, even in that commercial work, that reminds us that we're still unique individuals and our experiences, regardless of what they are still valid. Which kind of brings me to my current body of work. A lot of my art is very reflective of personal experience. The most prevalent personal experience is the coronavirus and the pandemic and sheltering in place, and also distance learning because I'm a school teacher. So part of this experience has really brought me back to that momento mori, which is a very traditional term that means remember you too will die. So my work is kind of a modern take on that. And if you see the image behind me, this is the latest piece that I was able to complete. And it focuses on that cycle of life and death, using flowers to symbolize hope, regeneration, rebirth, life, death, and renewal. I feel very strongly that death is just another part of our life, that it's something that reminds us to live life well, live life fully, live a life of kindness, something that can actually be very positive. It can be something that motivates you to do something, it motivates you to be a certain way. So another piece that I'm currently working on includes this watercolor right here, which still remains unfinished. It's actually part of a triptych. But the interesting thing about this piece is not only does it have the image of the plague doctor on it, but I actually started this piece almost 2 years ago. And I don't believe in premonition or anything like that, but it feels very important to continue working on this piece right now. I think at the end of the day, the things that I'm really trying to focus on, have always been trying to focus on, is life and death, and most importantly, hope.